If you've ever sat there and thought, you know what my life is missing? A hyper-specific, snack-obsessed, foot-loving former NFL player with dating rules longer than a CVS receipt. Then congratulations! Former NFL player Chad Ochocinco Johnson might just be your dream man. Now listen, we're not here to shame a man for having a preference. Everybody is entitled to like what they like. However, there's a thin line between standards and whatever the hell Chad has going on. So, how hard is it to date Chad Ochocinco? We're gonna find out in today's video. But before we jump into it, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of Applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. Most men who talk about dating preferences tend to lean toward fewer complications, such as preferring to date women without kids.
Yeah, meanwhile, the man has 11 kids by 15 different women. Don't act confused. I said what I said.
Chad, however, decided to go in the complete opposite direction and made it very clear that if you don't already have children, you're automatically disqualified. On a February 2025 episode of Nightcap, the podcast he co-hosts with Shannon Sharp, Chad confidently stated,
I'm not even looking at you if you ain't got at least two.
Why do you want to date? Why do you want
that
Why do you want to date only want to date females that have kids?
98.9% of the time, they never have no goddamn food in the refrigerator.
I say what now? So he trying to eat all the kids' snacks up, huh? That what you saying? With his hungry ass. Ninja, bring some groceries with you.
He went on to complain that these women don't have snacks like oatmeal pies or Capri Suns readily available, which he finds unacceptable. In his mind, this is a major issue because he might need something to eat in the middle of the night after knocking boots.
Oatmeal cream pies and Capri Suns? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm doing too much. Because I got a meal made before he even come over there. If he coming over there, he gonna eat. We eating leftovers in the middle of the night. Okay, some leftover chicken wings or lasagna or some gumbo. That must be a young hoe thing. I don't understand. I can't relate.
Beyond the food, Chad also attached a deeper meaning to motherhood. He claimed that women with kids tend to be more organized, more structured, and less interested in constantly going out, dressing up for social media, and documenting their lives online. In his view, mothers represent stability, while women without children represent a more carefree, less grounded lifestyle that he's no longer interested in. So he's basically looking for them to fit into a role that he has already decided works best for him. However, reality tells a slightly different story. Chad was previously engaged to real estate mogul Sherelle Rosado, who already had 3 children. On paper, she checked every box he claims to care about. She was a mother, she had experience, and she embodied the stability he says he values. Yet the relationship still ended, and the reason had nothing to do with Capri Suns, organization, or lifestyle differences. It ended because Chad was constantly entertaining other women.
Oh, cheating bastard.
So Chad places heavy emphasis on what a woman should bring to the table, but his own behavior doesn't even match up with the stability he claims to want.
Bingo. Boom. Shakalaka.
Or maybe she wasn't supplying the snacks fast enough to keep Chad in the house. If Chad's requirement that women already have children wasn't specific enough, he decided to take it one step further by introducing a more superstitious rule.
What in the hocus pocus is going on here?
On an October 2023 episode of Nightcap, Chad casually mentioned that he has 11 kids and a possible, which already raises a few eyebrows. However, what stood out even more was his dissatisfaction with having an odd number of children because odd numbers represent bad luck.
Is he on the spectrum? I'm serious. It's given spectrum.
Instead of questioning how he ended up with that many children across multiple relationships in the first place, his focus shifted entirely to correcting the number. His solution was simple: have more kids until the number becomes even, because that would somehow restore balance and bring better luck into his life.
What in the ghetto feng shui is going on here?
It's confirmed that Chad actually has 8 kids in total. Even with that confirmed number, the broader context still matters. Those 8 children are with 7 different women, introducing a level of complexity far beyond simple numerology. He's attempting to control outcomes through numbers, treating children like pieces in a puzzle that need to be arranged correctly. At the same time, the underlying pattern of his relationships suggests the issue is more behavioral than anything else. Focusing on something like even versus odd numbers can distract from deeper patterns that are harder to confront, because it's much easier to believe that adjusting the number will fix things rather than to examine why he keeps creating broken homes. Just when it seems like Chad's preferences couldn't get any more specific, the conversation takes a turn into a very particular set of physical preferences. During a November 2023 episode of Nightcap, the topic of feet came up.
You don't like women's feet?
You better let them sit in cocoa butter for about 3 hours.
Nah, you ain't got to do that, man. Listen, ain't nothing like you don't be like when you don't suck. Never mind. You know, it's a kid friendly. It's a kid friendly show. You don't suck on the toe, huh?
Come on, man. Come on, Ocho.
With his freaky self.
Those who follow him know he has a thing for Rihanna's feet and even made several posts about his obsession. To some, it seems like Chad genuinely believes that this fetish contributes to his appeal. He even implied that it played a role in his relationship with Sherelle, suggesting that it was one of the factors that attracted her to him. From a psychological standpoint, this level of confidence is intriguing. It suggests a strong belief in his own desirability, but it also highlights a tendency to attribute relationship success to very specific, surface-level traits rather than deeper emotional connections. When it comes to finances, Chad's approach is just as unconventional as his dating requirements. While many athletes are known for extravagant spending, Chad has built a reputation for doing the exact opposite. His philosophy is rooted in extreme frugality, and that mindset extends into every aspect of his life, including his relationships. According to People magazine, Chad spent his first 2 years in the NFL living inside the Cincinnati Bengals stadium. He did this because it provided everything he needed, and it allowed him to avoid spending money on housing. Even after he eventually moved out, he chose a modest 1-bedroom apartment rather than upgrading to something more in line with his earnings. This approach carries over directly into his dating life. On an episode of Club Shay Shay, Chad shared that he often takes women to McDonald's for a first date as a deliberate strategy because he believes that this type of date reveals a woman's true character. In his view, a woman who's comfortable with a simple, inexpensive date is genuine and down to earth. On the other hand, a woman who expects more is seen as materialistic or overly focused on money. He even took his ex-fiancée Sherelle to McDonald's on their first date. After they ate, he told her, "Sweetie, they got some nice rooms, $30 rooms at the Executive Palace. I ain't really trying to spend no money like that. What you trying to do?" From there, they went to the budget motel and knocked boots. During an episode of the Nightcap, Chad also made it clear that not only is he cheap, but he also likes to take the quick and easy route to the bedroom. He said he didn't have time for 3 dates or to wait 90 days before hitting it. He added, "If the sex is good, they gonna be around anyway, so why not get it out the way?"
I don't know. Maybe so you can get to know each other, build a connection and all that before you start blowing somebody back out to smithereens. No wonder you got so many damn kids. Hell, just giving it out to everybody, ain't you? Nasty.
While Chad is very cautious about spending his own money,
He ain't cautious about spending that sperm. Can I say that? Can I say that on... Can I?
his attitude shifts when it comes to benefiting from someone else's financial success. This became particularly evident during his relationship with Sherelle, who works as a real estate broker. On Nightcap, Chad discussed how Sherelle wanted him to sign a prenuptial agreement before marriage. He said he wasn't interested in signing one. His reasoning was that their roles were reversed, and he was comfortable in that position.
I bet his little cheap ass was. A little cheap, sassy ass. Make that make sense.
He described enjoying life as a stay-at-home partner, spending his time playing video games and not having to work. He openly admitted that he appreciated the lifestyle she provided and wasn't eager to give it up. In fact, he framed it as a learning experience, saying that it helped him understand why some women are drawn to financially successful men.
This ninja is funny as hell. I'll give him that. Oh, Sherelle, you dodged a bullet, honey.
So yeah, on one hand, he values independence and frugality. On the other hand, he's open to dependency when it benefits him and his dusty behind. Chad frequently speaks about the importance of honesty, communication, and transparency, presenting them as essential components of a healthy partnership. However, his personal experiences tell a more complicated story. According to page 6, after 4 years together, Sherelle discovered that Chad had been communicating with multiple women behind her back. Now, obviously, there's a significant gap between what Chad says and what he does. While he promotes openness and honesty, his actions don't reflect those principles. Sherelle ultimately chose to end the relationship in 2024, making it clear that she wasn't willing to accept a double standard.
Can we insert applause here? A round of applause for Sherelle, please. Thank you.
One of Chad's most unique perspectives on relationships revolves around the concept of DNA. During an appearance on Bussin' with the Boys, he explained that his attraction to women wasn't primarily based on physical appearance, but rather on their genetic potential.
I don't need the bad trying to look cute with good hair. I don't want fucking models. I want fucking athletes. What'd you do in high school? Show me some fucking tape. I need that DNA. I need that fucking mixture to be on point.
His approach turns dating into something that resembles talent scouting. Instead of focusing on compatibility or shared values, the emphasis is placed on measurable attributes that can be passed on to the next generation. From a psychological perspective, Chad appears to view relationships as a means of extending his own success, rather than as a partnership built on mutual growth and understanding. When it comes to his overall philosophy on relationships, Chad takes a very pragmatic approach. He has stated in interviews that he believes relationships should be guided by logic and common sense rather than emotion. He described relationships as transactional, suggesting that both parties should focus on what they can gain while minimizing the risk of heartbreak. In this framework, love and emotional vulnerability aren't central components, but rather factors that can complicate the situation. While this perspective may offer a sense of control, it also removes many of the elements that make relationships meaningful. By reducing interactions to transactions, the depth and connection that typically define a partnership are significantly limited. Unsurprisingly, he's already moved on from Sherelle and went public with a woman named Chan in the summer of 2025. And if you think this new romance is built to last, you're crazier than a black woman at a MAGA rally.
Bastard, you messy as hell. You so messy. You know the black MAGA's finna come for you now. You know they finna be all in the comments, girl. I wish they would. Bring y'all asses on.
He might have built an entire playbook for dating, but the way he's running it, he's more likely to keep cycling through tryouts than ever actually choosing a teammate. When every relationship turns into a checklist, a test, or a transaction, there's no real space left for connection to grow. Control can protect him for a while, but it can also isolate him if nothing ever feels good enough to keep. At some point, the game slows down. The late nights, the options, the constant motion, it all fades. And what's left is who you built something real with. Chad might not feel that urgency now, but time always has a way of humbling even the most confident players. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.